welcome. If you're watching this video, you're on your journey to becoming your best version. This is the blueprint that you will follow that will help you build discipline, build that consistency, build that resilience, and gain that confidence. You need to understand that confidence is follow through. The reason you lack confidence is because you lack follow through. You tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start that, I'm going to do this, but you never end up doing it. This is why you need to simplify everything to make sure you can do it. The small wins is what we're aiming for. Making sure we win, we set up our day for success. Then whenever we can complete the small things, whenever the big things arise, then we can translate it and do it. Because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So now I'm going to get into the daily process. I want you to understand that the most important thing that you guys need to focus on, which I'm going to explain to you now, is the daily process. The reason being is because you've decided to become your best version. And that's point 1. And your best version is point 100. And the thing is, because we've decided, we believe that our next action will straight away take us to point 100. You need to understand this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That in between is called the process. You don't need to focus on 100. You need to focus on 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. Like anything, at the start, building that momentum is going to be hard. But it's the most important thing to stick to it, because it compounds to then end up getting to that 100, that best version. So this is why I want you guys to understand that being aligned is completely important. Being aligned is having that purpose. You will always be your purpose, but anything that you want to do, you will always need yourself. So you need to become your best version, that self-mastery, to be able to control and say yes whenever you want and say no whenever you want. To be able to validate yourself is the most important thing. Not what other people think, but be able to do what you really want to do. If you want to get in shape because you know you want to feel good, then you do it for you. You don't have to validate yourself with others. So now your purpose will always be you. I want you to imagine that point 100, your best version, the top of the staircase. So the top of the staircase is here. To be aligned, you need to understand that your purpose, top of the staircase, your thoughts and your actions, that's what makes alignment. Because your thoughts then become actions. So once you need to make sure that all your thoughts are aligned with that purpose that you want, because then it will follow through as action. And those actions is what takes the steps to the daily process to get you closer to your best version. So you need to understand that today, you are the person that you are because of your habits. Your habits are whether you sleep in, whether you smoke, whether you have these addictions. These are automated actions that you don't even realize. But you've realized it enough to be where you are watching this video to make that change. So now we need to replace those negative habits with positive ones. But to replace them with positive habits, these are not habits yet. So until you practice them continually, which is the daily process, which I'm going to get into, then that becomes a habit. And those new habits create a new character. That new character is your best version. Because you're not this person yet. You are here, the person with bad habits. So you need to replace them with new habits to become your best version. So imagine this as a new character. So now I'm going to go into the daily process. Understand that your best version, the daily process, everyone just wants the outcome. I want to become my best version, I want to get fit, I want the body, I want the money, I want to get the job. But what tends to happen is that you need to understand that the money, the body, the job, everything that you want comes from the work that you put in. So everyone's so focused on the outcome and they don't focus on the input. It's like wanting a tree with many fruits. You don't think about the tree. The more you think of the tree, you're not going to get the tree. The way you get the tree is by planting the seed. Once you plant the seed, you water it, you keep on taking care of the seed, then it grows into a flower, the flower into a plant, the plant into the tree, then with the fruits. So what are you doing? You are taking action to take care of the tree, the daily process, then you get the results. So you already know what you want, so you need to make sure you put the adequate steps, you're going towards the direction that you need to then get the results. Imagine your best version, the top of the staircase, and you put the GPS. The GPS is the daily process, the steps that you need to take to get there. So you take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, it feels repetitive, but it's like going anywhere. You just follow the GPS, you go, and if you feel overwhelmed because you haven't reached it, it's because you haven't arrived. So you need to be patient. You keep on going, you keep on going, you keep on going. This is the part many people give up. They are not patient. That's why it's about being and becoming, not appearing and acquiring. Because you focus so much on the end result and you haven't got it yet, you get overwhelmed and you give up. But once you become that person and focus on the qualities to become what you want, then that's the task that we want. So the daily process, the only thing you need to focus on is the 24 hours at hand. What can I do now? Action is the only thing that's going to get you to that place. Listen to what I'm saying. Action is the only thing that can take you to this place. Words is what you want. Actions is who you are. That's the big difference. So this is why you need to break it down. What tends to happen is, whenever you start to get overwhelmed, you start to think into the future. I don't know if I'm going to get the result. The only way you're going to get the result is with the actions that you put in today. The future will come. The future will come, but the future is dictated with the actions that you put in today. So what can you do today that's going to give you that future that you want, that outcome that you want, the tree that you want? You need to focus on planting the seed. But what tends to happen, this is the thing, you can only be in one place at the time. You can only be in the present, in the future, or in the past. You can't be in all three places. But understand the most important one will always be the present, because that's where you take action. Many people then start getting overwhelmed about the future. They go into the past. When they go into the past, they start thinking, what could I have done differently that's going to change my future? Then what ends up happening? You keep on bouncing from past to future. No action is being put in. The past will never change unless you can change it. Then you go back and fix it. If not, you are not going that way. The only thing you have now is the now and the future. And the future doesn't even exist, because you don't even know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. And this is the solid reality. You don't even know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. So why be concerned about tomorrow? Tomorrow has its own problems. Focus on today, the daily process. Now let's get into what the daily process is. Now that we have the concept, understand what the daily process is. I'm going to give you a step-by-step that you need to follow through, which have now become your non-negotiables. Your non-negotiables will then become your habits, and those habits will translate into everything in life. Not only fitness, not only building that physique, because your physique is the first thing you can manifest into existence. Because with taking the right action, following the program, you will see the results. Once you look good, you feel good. Once you feel good, you give that energy. So let's start off with number one. Number one is wake up before the sun. You need to understand that when you wake up before the sun, no one likes to wake up. Whenever you feel comfortable, you're sleeping, no one wants to wake up early, because it's one of the hardest things you can do. So this is why we set up those wins first thing in the morning, which sets your day up for success, your daily process. Because remember, all we have is today. So early wake up time, wake up before the sun. If you're waking up 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 6 p.m., I want you to wake up before the sun. I wake up at 4 a.m. I recommend 5, but if you can't wake up at 6, you can't wake up at the same time. It has to be uncomfortable, because you need to put yourself through that uncomfortable state. That is where you grow. So that is part of the daily process. Wake up time. Number 2 is a high intensity exercise. I do my burpees every day when you wake up. Why? This is scientifically proven. Understand that whenever you feel low, whenever you feel like you're thinking negative, you can't positively think your way out of it. You need to do positive actions. This is why high intensity exercise brings up your frequency, and then you start thinking positive. You have that mental clarity to make decisions. So high intensity exercise, I do burpees. So start off listening to your conscience. If your conscience is telling you, do 10 burpees, you do 10. But always make sure you're honest with yourself. It's all about being honest. You have to be honest with yourself. You do high intensity exercise. If you can't do burpees, start off with star jumps. But something that gets the heart rate up and the blood pumping around the body. The third one is self-development. You have to self-develop. This gives you a different perspective into other things. You need to understand everything that you are today is from the things that you know. Understand that the more you know, the more you understand. I can put this in front of you. You see a 9, I see a 6 is a different perspective to help you see things differently. That's going to help you progress. It's going to show you a completely different world. Self-develop, read books, watch podcasts, but they have to be self-help. The fourth step is go to the gym. You need to go to the gym, follow a program. If you're on the one-to-one coaching, follow the program that I've given you. If not, make sure you're following the program, and make sure you're going to the gym at least 5 days a week. That's how you create your best version. Because whenever you think of your best version and you sit down, how do I see myself in the future? Who is this person that I admire? I hope it's a person in shape, because when you're in shape, you are healthy. It's all about health. So that's the next step. Making sure we go to the gym. The fifth one is completing our macros. Making sure what we eat is who we are. So if you're eating garbage, you will feel like garbage. If you're eating good, you are going to feel good. And that's going to help you build that physique. Follow the macros that I've given you if you're on my one-to-one coaching. If you're not, make sure you have the macros that you need to lose fat, build muscle. Okay? That's the most important thing. The sixth one, you need to not break character. Not break character is, remember, we've got these new habits that we're creating to become our best version. So whenever we break character, we are going back to our old self. Understand there's going to be a transition period once you're replacing those negative habits with your positive ones. Whenever you start to go back to those negative habits, you are going back to the person that you are, the person you already know, the person you do not like, which is the reason why you're watching this video, because you want to become your best version. So that's why you need to stay firm and make sure you never ever break character. So whenever you're about to do something wrong, think about, am I going to break character? Which goes into the next one. Listen to your conscience. Once you're aligned, once you have that purpose, once you have already those thought process in mind, your conscience will always tell you the right thing to do. The thing is, we try to negotiate with our conscience. The best way I can explain it to you is, imagine you're in a relationship and a situation come up and now you're tempted to cheat. Everyone knows that cheating is wrong. So what tends to happen? You try to reason with yourself. My partner will never find out. My partner, we're in a rough patch right now. And I'm just doing it, she'll never find out. So you try to reason yourself out of it. You try to make it acceptable, try to make yourself feel better. When you commit the act, how do you feel? You feel regret. You knew you should not have done that. So that's what happens with you. That's what happens. Always listen to your conscience and never live with regret, because now when you have that regret, you're no longer focused on what you need to do ahead to get to where you are. Now you got that regret, now that you're trying to fix that situation. Now your energy is focused on what should I do to fix the situation. A day goes by, then you start to relapse into your negative habits. This is where everything starts to go wrong. Make sure you always listen to your conscience and never live with regret. The next one is make sure you have no addictions. For 30 days, I want to cut smoking, drinking, anything that's social media, porn, anything that you are addicted to that is taking control over you, because you need to start taking control over it. If you can't go on social media without being able to control it, you need to remove it, because if not, everything else will control you. You won't be able to stick to the routine because you start saying, what is the point? The point of it is being able to do it whenever it's not convenient, because doing it when it's convenient does not count. When it's not convenient, that's what we're working towards. Then what tends to happen? This is the way I want you to live by. Focus on doing this every single day. Focus on the 24 hours. Tomorrow does not exist. And you repeat it every single day. That's the thing. And before you go to sleep, the next day, I want you to journal. I want you to journal, whether it be write down on a piece of paper. This is the most important thing. You write down 3 things that you're grateful for today. What were 3 things that you're grateful for? I'm grateful that I went to the gym. I'm grateful that I completed my macros. I am grateful that I didn't break character. Then you put 3 things that I regretted doing today that I will not repeat tomorrow. If you do that for 365 days, you will be a completely new person. So what did I regret yesterday? I went over, I didn't do things on time. I wasn't as organized. So what is your main task for the next day? Your main task will be the 3 things that you regretted the day before. And it's a constant cycle. So you will always be progressing. It's 1% better every single day. Everyone thinks you have to make these big changes. Everyone thinks you have to buy a house, do something crazy. No, it's about being 1% better every single day. And that's how you get consistent, and that's how you build confidence. Remember, confidence comes from following through with what you say you're going to do. Self-doubt comes from lack of confidence. Lack of confidence comes from saying you're going to do something and you don't do it. You don't take yourself seriously. That's why you should never break your word. It will always be actions over emotions, because your emotions fluctuate. They are energies, emotions. One day you feel good, one day you feel low, but those actions are forever. That action is going to take you one step closer every single day to that goal. Those emotions don't. Those emotions do not dictate you. Those actions do. So that's why it's important. Make sure you always take action. Follow through the daily process. You are now in a community. Make the most out of that community. Support each other. That's what I'm here. Support each other. If someone's got a question, you help that person. If you have a question, you ask. Drop the ego. Make sure you're there to help. People are there to help you. We are here to grow. This is why we are here. Understand this. Follow this through. Follow the daily process every single day. That is the only thing that you should have in your mind, and that is going to help you become your best version. Enjoy your journey. You've got this. Let's